All right. Oh, I've got dots, so I think you can hear me. Got no participants, but I think you can hear me.
Okay. I'm trying to find it right now.
All right. So you'll probably.
Second try. Okay.
There we go. That's us. That's me.
Second try. Okay.
Hello.
That's me.
And so we got two participants. Thrifty Kitten. Thrift Kitten. Thank you so much. I am so sorry. And Elle, Rebecca, Greedy Gret, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming back. I need to figure out, I use my work computer to do, to do everything. And it's got such tight software controls. It was working fine when we tested it earlier, but I think when I changed to the new browser, it reset something. And while I was in the stream, it wouldn't let me refresh. And that's why I wasn't trying to lose you. So I tried to refresh, which is what I normally do when the software blocker kicks in. And when I refreshed is when I lost it. So I switched over to my daughter's computer. So great, now I'm on a Mac and I can barely figure out how to touch things. But we are live and we have 8 people came back that stayed with me and watched whatever horrifying faces I was making, because I realized that camera was on the entire time while I was sitting there trying to figure out what exactly was going on. And when I found one of the panels, I discovered it wasn't registering which software I was in. It just said that the website was engaged, which is what the block, which it's not the fault of the software. The software does its job. Computer, because I'm basically stealing my work computer to do personal stuff, it's like karma has come to get me, and it didn't let me go live. So again, I apologize. AJ's Retro is here. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Connie, thank you for joining us. Greedy Gret, that's a new one. I welcome. I'm not sure. I hope you've seen some of my other channels, and I apologize if you've chatted with me and I've missed it. Chapter 2 is here. Alex, oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy woman. Oh, my vintage thrifting adventures, fantastic. A personal shout out to Thrifting Adventures, because it was her. There's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of us who are trying live stream, and this had kind of become her night. And so she's started out, has done a couple sales, I think 2, maybe 3. And this was when she typically was doing them due to some personal conflicts that her helper wasn't going to be available to help tonight. I was able to kind of take her slot. And she is now doing her Thrifting Adventures is doing her sale tomorrow. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said it's Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific. Is when Thrifting Adventures will be doing her live sale. So if you're doing a crawl to find all the live sales, there will be another one that you'll be able to have. Also tomorrow night, there's a live sale. I believe I saw Jeffrey from Real Nifty Vintage is having a live sale tomorrow as well. So I'm not sure if Alex has joined us again, but Alex is not Alex, Misty. She is the, she's become the queen of being able to of these live sales. So it's great that she's kind of started this trend. And I know Alex has been doing them for a long time. So there's several of us, Vintage Vinny, who hopefully will be signing back in. He did his first one, I think actually last week. And I think he's scheduled to do another one this weekend. And lesson learned, I probably should have paid more attention to his little primer on StreamYard, because maybe I wouldn't have had this problem had I listened to his video. So I am trying to figure out, Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter. I kind of got it right that time, but only because I was reading it straight from my screen. She has joined us back in, so thank you so much. I am going to add some moderators here, because once I get set up, I'm not going to be able to pay attention as much to the screen. And since we're already behind, I want to go ahead and get started. So welcome. I'm Patrick of TrustyHucksterMercantile. We are coming to you tonight with my daughter, who will be helping assist and trying to keep things on track. And we're going to try and keep this within an hour. We'll see what happens since we started behind. If you saw my preview video, watch as things come out. But if you have any special requests, my daughter will be watching that, and we'll try and make sure that those are included. So we're going to start right in. If you've never done a live sale before or participated on one before, what will be happening is I will be showing an item. I will give you some moderate amount of information. I will then be giving you the price. And then the final piece of information I will be giving you is its item number. What we will be doing it, because everyone has a slightly different speed on their internet connections, and it might be necessary at some point to come back and refresh it so that it resets itself to be more current. Whoever is the first person that hits the moderator stream that to call out that number will be the person who receives it. Every price that we will be giving is going to be, it's the item price, and then shipping will be added on top of that. If you end up buying more than one item, which I highly encourage, we will combine for shipping. So what will end up happening is at the end of the sale, we'll remind you of this again. Anybody who will have purchased something will just send me their email address, their address to where I'll be shipping it to. And I only use PayPal, so I will send you a PayPal invoice. You do not have to have PayPal yourself. There's some misconceptions to that, but I will send you the invoice once I have it all packaged up, and I will calculate final shipping based on that. So we're going to get things started. Oh, Fatbird Finds is here. Fantastic. There's a little bonus thing going on right now. I'll actually start really quick because I forgot to do this. There's already some of the people are already here. Did a little shout out sheet. If any of these people participate in tonight's, this is my first live sale, which anyone who saw my first attempt, that's not a surprise. This was my first live sale. But these are all people that I have basically been obsessed with. I feel have been my unofficial mentors since I've not met any of them. And if any of these people are here, and there are already a couple, I have a little stash of items that I'll be pulling into the sale that will not be pulled in if these people do not arrive. Just to be clear, I'm not selling to these people. Most cases, these are resellers who have more than enough inventory on their own, but it's just things that remind me of them or inspired by them. And it's just a fun little way of mixing things up. So we've got some variety. So that's who I'm on the lookout for. And I know that we've already got a couple of the people here. Alex is still here. Misty from Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter. Fatbird Finds. So we'll have some specials that come out for that. So starting things out is a Knowles, Edwin Knowles China Yorktown shape. This I picked up actually relatively recently. I just had never gotten it listed. And at this point, I'm simply trying to clear some inventory. And so I think this is a really nice piece. It's got this really nice detail on the side where you can kind of see it's got a little bit of a stair step, pretty much a deco appearance. On the back, it has a stamp that says 37-8. What I am not clear on, admittedly, is whether that 37 indicates that it was made in 1937. I am not familiar enough with Knowles China to know that. So that is the back stamp. It is in perfect condition. Perfect vintage condition. There are no chips, no cracks. That'll go for just about everything that I have on the sale tonight. If there's any damage, I will definitely highlight it. But in general, I don't tend to carry things with any sort of damage. So this item is the Knowles Yorktown plate. It is $5. And I will tell you, for people who've trained me for this, Misty gave me a lot of information. I know I'm not supposed to give the item number. So this is how I'm prepping for this. I did index cards for all of these so I can see the price, see what it is, but not say the number, because the number is 43. So for number 43 is the Edwin Knowles Yorktown plate. I believe because of the little handle, it might be considered a cake plate, but it'd be a pretty small cake. So cookie plate. That is $5 at number 43. Next item was actually one of the first things that I had ever purchased when I first started sourcing for resale. And it is this little leatherette case. It's got a little handle on it. It's got the snap. I'd say probably like a 60s, 70s type era. It is the Karoff original. There's a little like gold foil stamp on the front of the little flap. And inside, it's a traveling tea set. The reason I never listed it was, one, because there are several pieces, and that's exactly why I was afraid to do it. I was afraid to break anything. Didn't break, yay. They just don't make them like they used to. So this set comes with 2 mugs. There is crazing on the mugs, because it's definitely of its age. It has, not sure I can do this without tipping it all forward. So it has a sugar, a tea, and a coffee, little tiny canisters. Now, I will admit, if you want to do this for travel, I don't think it's designed the best because that's how the lid sits on. So if you filled that with loose tea and then traveled with it, you'd have tea everywhere. So again, maybe not the best design, but it looks really cool. Each of the little canisters has the label on the front and then also a transferware piece on the back. They are marked on the bottom. They're all marked with the original foil sticker, Pico, Japan. The one piece, it does come with its heater. I've not tested this, so that's up to you, but it's original in the heater. This is one of the few pieces that I'm going to show that is not perfect. There is a tiny chip that appears somebody to have, they repaired it. So that's there. And so since I really don't like putting things on Etsy that have any damage, and I wasn't sure how to photograph this, the teapot has this little lid. I mean, again, how much tea could that possibly hold? But all of that is included. It also has some of its original paperwork. So it talks about, it's got the original care-off ad. It's got instructions for the 110 volt, 300 watt heater. And it was considered a cafe tea-ria. So that is all available, is all in one piece, is a care-off travel tea set. It is $20, and that is number 50. I get that closed up. So again, the care-off travel tea set, $20, and that's number 50. A handful of things that are going to be covered tonight are not going to be vintage. What had happened, and really one of the impetus for the sales, is a friend of mine had a gift shop that she was running as part of a side part of her business, and because of COVID, because of the pandemic, she ended up in a situation she had to close it down. And that gift shop actually did not have some of the age restrictions that Etsy and my antique mall, where I have a shop at the antique mall, everything has to be there older than 1980. So I had all these contemporary pieces and I was selling them at her gift shop. She had to close it down. I had very little time to clear everything out, and I got boxes and boxes. Literally probably about 100 to 150 items came back to me that I have no storage space for. So we're introducing a couple of contemporary pieces that will not be going up on Etsy. This is a perfect condition beer glass. I don't know actually what shape that's considered. I don't think that's I don't know if that's the Pilsner. If Pilsner is the one that has the slanted sides. I'm not a beer drinker, to be perfectly honest. Give me shot glasses all the time. But this is a Mickey Mouse beer glass. So, nothing goes better together than Mickey Mouse and beer. It has literally a mark that I just saw as I tried to hold it up to the camera. One of the Mickeys has the copyright Disney underneath the little hidden Mickey silhouette. So it just says Disney. It doesn't say which version. There used to be a label on the bottom that may have been nothing more than a price tag, but it's not. It's been washed, and actually it does say something, but it's not anything specific. So it's contemporary. This is the Mickey Mouse glass, is $5, and it is number 19. So again, Mickey Mouse glass, $5, and that is number 19. Jumping back to something vintage, this is, I have a mixed opinion on the Goodwill bins. There's one within about an hour drive to me that I've been to, and there's one in Wisconsin, a couple hour drive, and that one I feel is better. This is from one of my visits to the Wisconsin bins, and it's this totally kitschy little ceramic frog on a macrame hammock. So it's got a wire form that's been wrapped with the macrame cord. And then literally he's in this little hammock that's all been made from macrame. I believe he is simply glued on. I can't see anything that's like really, he's not tied on. So I'm not, actually, no, I take that back. It looks like he used to be a bead. Because if you see that in between his legs, let's all get graphic, it does look like there's a cord holding him somehow on. So he's actually held tighter than I thought, but it doesn't go through the hole at the top of his head. So I'm not exactly clear, but anyway, kitschy little thing. Wasn't sure how to list them onto Etsy and really just never got around to it. Ended up in a box and I forgot about it. So the little frog in a hammock is $5 and the number is 47. So it's little hammock frog, ceramic, and he's in perfect condition. The macrame is still in great condition. This got to be a 70s piece just based on, hello. Again, that is number 47 for $5. One of the other items that I'm grabbing here is something that I've seen popular being resold because these are very lightweight, so they're very easy to ship. So these are the woven trivets. Now, this is full disclosure. These came as a large set. I've already sold some of these on my Etsy store. These are what was left over. The couple were just stuck in a box that I hadn't planned on selling, and then 2 of them were at that gift shop as something a little bit different. So this one is extremely strong. It's very rigid. All of the connections are still in there. It's all very tightly woven. This one's in really good condition. This one is also in very good condition. It has a little bit more wiggle to it because I think some of the central cores may have like broken down a little bit, but again, it's in really good condition. It's really tight. This will be really good. That'll do its job. This one, the center is tight, but where the edges connect, you can see some of them, the threads have started pulling apart. I don't know if there's a way to repair these. If there is, it's way beyond my abilities. So this one, full disclosure, it still looks great. But again, I don't know how much you can tell, but if you shake it, these pieces wiggle, I think, more than they probably should. Now, admittedly, I don't deal with these very often, so maybe that's totally normal. But that one, I feel I want to just point that one out. And then this one looks great, but this one has a lot of problems. You can see a lot of these threads have really started pulling loose. These are almost completely unconnected. These are like, this one's been disconnected. This one is very, very loose. It looks great. Okay, not a big brooch, but hang it flat. It'll be fine. Probably will still serve its purpose as a trivet too, but this one is in rough condition. So all 4 of these, the 2 really good ones, the decent one, and then the wannabe, a set of 4 woven trivets are $5, and the number is 45. So again, it's a set. All 4 of these trivets are 1 unit. For number 45. Sorry, that's what I gave trying to read backwards. Number 45, and that's $5. If you follow my Instagram and follow anything that I've done before, you know that I have a soft spot for porcelain, pottery, glass, the dust collectors that a lot of people don't like to get involved in. Well, I have a lot of it, so that's going to be included in some of the sale. So this is a decorative piece. I felt like that first plate I kicked off with, the Knowles piece, that's a kitchenware piece. You can put some cookies on there. It's functional. This one probably can also still be considered functional. It is a shallow bowl. I just really like the shape of it. It's got all of these, like the straight lines and then the curve. It is a bowl, so I'm trying to hold it in a way that you can see a little bit that there is some shallow. There's gold accents all the way around it. This is from Brunt Pottery Company in East Liverpool, Ohio, is who made this. It is stamped on the back with that information. This item is $3. It is in excellent condition, but there's quite a bit of crazing. Hopefully, you can kind of see it in the photo. That's the back side of it. And then the front side equally has quite a bit of crazing. No chips or cracks, just a little bit of crazing. I think Jeffrey has a tote bag that has that phrase. So this is $3 and it's number 46. So this is the Brunt Pottery odd shaped bowl for number 46, $3. One of the things I don't do a lot of is, Alex grabbed the odd shaped bowl. Congrats, Alex. One of the things, actually, you know what? I'm going to grab one of my specials. Since Alex grabbed item, the button is hers. So right near the wall. My Vanna is providing me her piece. That's my daughter, Amelia. She's not supposed to be here. Amelia is supposed to be in Germany right now, but thanks to our global crisis, her study abroad program was completely canceled, and now she's trying to figure out what to do with her life. She'll be finishing her junior year here. And just a quick side note to my daughter, if you can write on something else because you're shaking my whole camera. So, you know, again, we learn as we go, but I'm not having an earthquake. It's my daughter trying to do things at the other end of the table. All right. So this, as I said, there were a couple guests that I was hoping would join me. I did not. It was more than I could hope that Alex would join me. So thank you so much for Chapter 2 Vintage. Did a little bit of watching a lot of Alex's videos. She does a lot of different things. She also has some phenomenal live sales with some great items at some great prices. But one of the things that she does on the side is she creates custom buttons. And so as I was trying to come up with certain items that would be reflective of some of the people that I was hoping to join, I found an old button that I had, and this used to grace my bag. It is a Bozo the Clown button. And so it's got Bozo, and I should have looked these up because now I can't remember all of their names. Because the goose, that's not the Ray Rayner had Gardner goose. I can't remember. I know I can't remember their names. I grew up on this. Now, admittedly, I don't know if Bozo was a nationwide thing. I grew up outside Chicago. It went on to WGN. I think WGN did go nationwide, but I'm not sure if the program, but it was definitely filmed in Chicago. My brother got a chance to go. I did not. But regardless, I've gotten over it. But I have this little button. On the back, it says, "Have a happy day, ride the RTA." So it was actually a promotional button for the Regional Transit Authority in Chicago. So this is just a cute little button, very vintage condition. You can see it's kind of rusty on the back, a little bit of oxidation, just kind of proves its age. But the image itself is all completely sealed up. It's not peeling away from the backing. So from that guard, it's in really good condition. This is $3, and it's number 67. So the Bozo button is $3, and it's number 67. All right. Next item that I had, I don't really do much, if anything, in jewelry. I have a few pieces. Some of it has come from my daughter. Some of it has come through my mother to my daughter, now to me. And so these three pieces, hopefully my mother's not watching this. These three pieces come from a collection that my mother sent to my daughter years and years ago. And let's keep in mind, my daughter currently is now 20. This was years ago. So we're talking probably 10 years ago. My mother thought it was appropriate to send my 10-ish-year-old daughter a series of brooches because, what 10-year-old doesn't love a good brooch? So this is a set of 3 gold tone brooches. Now, I did take a loop to these. Again, I emphasize, I am not a jewelry person. So I know the basics. I mean, I know how to pull out a loop and I knew how to try and figure out what it said. I did not see any markings on any of these. So this one, I think this is one of those that when you pin it on there, that little loop is where you hook your eyeglasses. I think that's why that loop is there. So it's one of those you'd have up here or somewhere around your neck that then when you're done with your glasses, you like slide them in there. I could be wrong. It could just be like a wreath. I have no idea. But so that is the first part. This is a set of 3. It does have the little safety clasp to it. So the little part that spins to hold it in place. So I know that means it's not like really, that's not true vintage. It may still be like 80s or 90s. I'm thinking if they're from my mother, they're probably 70s to 80s. But it's later, it's not the type that just had the non-safety clasp. So that's one. This one's just a simple circle. Again, gold tone, there's a little bit of an angle to the circle. Also with that safety style clasp that's on there. And then the last one was something that I thought there might have been a possibility. It might be like 9-karat gold. But again, I couldn't find any marking. It's a different sheen of gold than the others. I don't know if you can tell that from the video. And then it also has this, pearl-like stone in the middle and it has prongs. But if you look really closely, and I'm not sure this is going to show up, but if you look really closely, it's actually been glued into place. So I don't think this was ever high quality. And because it was glued, I can't imagine that's a real pearl. But yes, I did try and put it on my teeth, and we'll just stop there. So again, I know enough about jewelry to be dangerous. So this is a set of all 3 of these pins. You get all 3 for $7, and it is number 38. So again, all 3 of the gold tone brooches. And hey, if one of them turns out to be real gold, you just got the best deal possible. But I think they're just gold tone. Number 38, $7. All right. Jumping into something modern again. This was also at the gift shop. This is Dreaming of Summer. So this is a glass tray. It's a little bit, there's a little bit of a, a little bit of a divot here. So it's not just flat. There actually is a little bit of a rim, but it's definitely a tray. It's not a bowl or anything. It has the very colorful images of the tropical drinks. It appears that the drinks themselves, the shapes of the drinks were molded into the glass, and then on the back, they were painted those colors. So it is, to me, it appears to be a hand-painted plate, or maybe it's machine painted, but it's a painted design, including all of the palm frond leaves that are on the side. And it's got this cool blue and gray silver tone. This is $6, and it's number 73. So the tropical drinks tray is number 73, and that is $6. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember where I got this next one. That was happening a lot. That was the other impetus behind this sale. I just simply can't list as many things as I'd like. I have a full-time job. Thankfully, I'm still employed. So I'm doing this kind of as a side gig, and I was sourcing faster than I could list. So this was an item that I had picked up. I want to say it was part of a job lot or a box lot, but I can't think of what it would have been in. But it's a poem. And it's specifically for a woman to give to her mother-in-law, which I find extremely odd. But it's very lovely matted poem. You can see it's got a double mat. It's got this kind of a Wedgwood blue, slate blue inner matting, then a nice white, white, maybe a little off-white. But the corners of the white matting are embossed. So you've got some pretty cool detail in this mat. It is, I should have measured it before, it is 8 by 10. So it fit in a standard 8 by 10 frame. It says, "Thank you. The day that your son married me and we walked down the aisle, there's things I do not understand, nor would for quite a while. The man I grew to love so much was once your baby new, and many things that he's become he's gained from life with you. A mother's love can shape a life with tenderness and grace until one day she sees her son another to embrace. And so I wanted you to know with gratefulness anew, I'm thankful that my husband had a mother just like you." So this could actually be for a male couple as well. It doesn't reference it's from a daughter, but it is to a mother-in-law. So the poem is by Ann Peterson. And on the back, because it's still in its little original wrapper, it's line upon line. It actually has Ann Peterson's name. They were based in Sycamore, Illinois. So probably something that was sold at like a craft store or craft show or something like that. So the matted 8 by 10 poem is $3. And it is number 76. So the matted poem, number 76, $3. All right, drifting between contemporary. Well, it's definitely contemporary, but it's just too cool not to include. I came across these. Well, this, I'm only selling one right now, but there's another one that'll probably show up at a later sale. This is an origami, I'm gonna say swan. That's my assumption. It is technically a basket, but the way it's been done, the neck of this almost touches the back of his feathers. So it's either a swan or maybe a peacock based on the fact that his feathers go up like this. It's all folded paper. It's really kind of amazing that all of this went into him. He's got the little glue on crazy eyes, which to me actually detracts from it. you know, if I were to keep it, I'd probably figure out how to pop those puppies off. But that is the way it was made. It is signed on the bottom. It was made by, it looks like it says Begu, B-E-G-U, and it's dated 2005. So, you know, we've got some age to it, about 15 years. And it's got a cardboard bottom, and then this in between, all this in between is just folded paper. It doesn't appear to be treated in any way. There's no plastic. It's just the folded paper. So this item is $15, and he is number 48. So the origami swan, although now I think he's a peacock, number 48, $15. All right. This next item, this is really, I need to clear out inventory, so I got creative. You've probably never heard of a set of 4-season coasters. It's because it doesn't exist, but I just created it. So this next is actually kind of a mixed lot. It is a set of 4 sets of coasters. And the coasters that I chose, I picked them to try and represent the 4 seasons. So the first set is a set of 4 glass coasters. They are still wrapped in their original plastic box with their original ribbon. There's a thank you tag still attached to them. It's got a little bit of yellowing. It looks like it was stained at some point, but it is still blank on the middle. So you could still give this as a thank you. So this is your winter coasters. Your spring coasters is this set of kimono coasters. Just have some really springy colors. They're all in the shape of a kimono. They are a very sturdy cardboard, I guess. I can't tell if that top colorful layer is applied to the bottom. That's my assumption, but I don't see. I mean, it must just be glued on, but it's glued on very well. So these are in exceptionally good shape. The box is a little bit, you know, messed up, but the coasters themselves. And so there's 4 of the glass ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the kimonos. For summer, we've got a vintage set of Pimpernel coasters in the maritime pattern. You know what? I've got something for vintage Vinny. And he is here. So I'm going to have a special appearance for vintage Vinny, but I was trying to find something nautical, and I forgot that these were included in this set. So I know that Vinny, you've got a nautical theme going on at your house. Not sure this will look great with your Hager mermaid, but you know, this is supposed to be a set of 6 Pimpernel coasters. There are only 5 in this, but the 5 that are in great condition. They've still got their cork backing. They've still got, most of them still have this little circle that says that they're the Pimpernel made in England. So that represents your summer. And then we're going to go with autumn in Polynesia, because these are bamboo with kind of tropical plants on them. They're brownish. So that was the extent of my connecting it to autumn. So anyway, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a set of 6, set of 5, set of 4, and the kimonos were a set of 6. All of those, all 4 boxes, $6 for the combination, $6, number 44. All right, so those are all the coasters. This was a fun ad that admittedly I never got it listed on eBay or on Etsy, because I'm not on eBay, on Etsy, because I couldn't figure out how to photograph it. It is a set of mail order dollhouse patterns. So I'm kind of like hiding the address that's still on the address label. But so these were shipped out. The date stamp that's on there is from 1970. So we are pure vintage. That is the year I was born. Inside is this stash of paperwork. It says built it from a craft pattern. And Amelia forgot to turn off her email notification, so now I'm seeing her email. I don't know if you want me to do that, Amelia. So these are craft patterns dollhouse packet. It's kind of a folder that things are falling out of. Some of these were used. So these were cut apart like this. I think is the picket fences. So these used to be in a solid sheet. So somebody did cut these down to make these the picket fence. There's some writing on here for the different measurements. You know, this is to make This is a craft pattern to make. Oh, you can make a wooden toilet. How fun. I think we all needed to know about the wooden toilet. Depending on how long our current pandemic lasts, we may need to have one. It's got little plastic see-through the windows. So there's a lot of pieces here, but at no point am I going to swear that this is completely done. Is a complete set. So there's a little craft pattern. Again, so here's where there's still some fences that are still attached, but then they started making the chimney, and so they started cutting the pieces apart. So the pieces of the chimney, I'm not sure here, but regardless, this is just cool. I think it's the graphics are what sells this. So these again are vintage dollhouse patterns. This entire packet with the little mailing envelope that originally came in is $3, and it's number 74. So the craft patterns dollhouse packet, $3, number 74. Another piece that I never got a chance or never listed on Etsy was because I wasn't confident myself to be able to list something that I now feel might be incomplete. I think what this is, well, I know that this is the creamer and I know this is a sugar and they stack very nicely. But if you look here, you can see there's also a rim on this one. I have a feeling this is supposed to be sitting on top of either a coffee mug or a teapot itself. I don't have that. I only have these two pieces. So it falls in the whole idea of the kitchen rooster. So you've got the rooster, you've got the corn stalks. They're not marked in any way. I have a feeling whatever they would have sat on probably was marked. So unfortunately, I don't know the maker on this. They are designed with the rooster on the front, and on the back is another thing of corn pattern. And the corn hasn't been detasseled yet. Welcome to the Midwest. Why do I know this? So anyway, so you're getting the creamer and the sugar, which still looks great. You can still stack them either way. Actually, I think it fits better this way. So you still got the sugar, you turns it into a covered sugar, the creamer. I basically priced them, just to be able to sell them as is for this good condition, definitely some crazing, but they're showing its age. They were $4. So it's $4 for the pair, and it is number 2. So it's the creamer and sugar for $4, number 2. Jumping into contemporary land again. This was an item. This is one of the favorite things I picked up, and it was unfortunate it never sold in the little gift shop, because what this is a very heavy. I will give you full disclosure on this. It is very heavy. It is a serving platter. I don't think it's a serving tray. You wouldn't carry this because it has the multiple rings on the bottom. It would make it weird to carry. I think it's designed just to be, on a buffet. It is completely flat. The center of the album is painted on. It's not a decal, so it can be taken care of. I mean, I'm sure it's a transferware, but it's not like a sticker that's stuck to it. It is part of the original piece. It has, the label is Delirium Tremens, and the name is Vino Veritas. So for whatever reason, they decided to connect the wine theme to what looks like an album, so to an LP. So it's kind of an odd little piece, but it's nice beige color. It goes with a lot of different color schemes. $9, and this is number 75. One of the pieces, there was a conversation, I think on Instagram or something earlier in the week, that George, the Antique Nomad, I'm not sure if he's joined us, that he has a whole tiki culture, and he collects a lot of different types of things. I said I would include a tiki mug in my sale. So this is a glass tiki mug. I don't know its age. There's no label, label or maker or anything. It might be contemporary. There's a seam to it, so it was pressed. There's a sticker, my old price tag on the bottom of it from the gift shop. I do not see a Pontal mark rubbed off, so I'm not sure on its age, but it's extremely cool. It's double-sided, happy face, frowny face, so you can kind of tell people what mood you're in while you're drinking. It is $5. It's number 29. So the glass tiki mug, number 29, it's $5. This was another piece that I picked up very early on, and then I didn't know what to do with it. It was too big for me to photograph. And it also fell into the category because it has a little bit of water damage. I was hesitant of what to do with it. So what this is a hanging calendar. It still has the original dowel rod on it. It still has the original cord. It's amazing that it's survived that long. It's from the Munich Olympics in 1972. So it is a 1972 calendar. It has all the different flags of the countries that participated in 1972. So they're probably looking a little different than they are right now. It has the dates at the top from August 26th to September 10th. And it's got the Olympia turn. Hohe, my fluent German daughter can say, is that height?
Olympiaturm hohe 290 Meter. It's a tower that is 290 meters tall.
I live with this. Anyway, so it's very cool. And I mean, there are people that hang these just for their artistic. I mean, the graphics on this is very cool. The problem is, and hopefully you can see this, I want to be, again, full disclosure, there's a little bit of water damage to it. You can kind of see at some point, I do think it was rolled up and then it got wet while it was rolled up. So you can kind of see the lines of where the water damage kind of came up. Now, I've heard people say that there's a lot, and it does show on the front. It's more on the back, but you can see on the front too. So full disclosure, there is damage to it. Now, there are some people have said that I think it's OxyClean does a really good job getting things like this out. To be perfectly honest, I never had the time or the inclination to clean it. So I decided, you know what? I know what they're selling for online. I want to be able to clear it because I'm scared to death I'm going to snap this dowel. And part of the value is the fact that it is still in its original condition. So this is the Munich 1972 Olympics calendar. It's $8 and it's number 40. So it's the Munich calendar, $8, number 40. Another piece I got fairly early on, fairly common. People see them a lot. I like the looks of it. It's a Hull drip glaze mug. It says Hull oven proof USA on the bottom. Perfect condition, no chips, no cracks. There's really not even crazing on this piece. I'm not 100% sure on the age. If George were here, he could probably date it to like the day of the week it was made. But that is a Hull drip glaze mug, a little single handle, finger mug. It is $3 and it is number 53. Going old school, this is probably, I would think this is going to taking us back to like maybe the 60s, maybe the 70s. It is basically a set. It's like a ceramic set of grapes. Now I don't believe it's like the home. I don't believe it's the home, like the homemade stuff. I don't think it's like a homemade ceramics because you can feel it may even be, I don't think it's porcelain, but you can see where it was flat, how it was painted. It's not marked in any way. My mother used to have a ceramic studio in the basement of our house. So I grew up under ceramics. I do not think this is a homemade piece. I could be wrong. But even if it's a homemade piece, somebody knew what they were doing because this is embedded into it. So this piece is metal. And then you've got the grapes, and they're kind of like a brownish color. So they're like, I don't know, they've gone bad. I don't know why you have brown grapes, but so this was just an odd little piece that I just remembered my childhood. This is $4 and it is number 35. So grapes, number 35, $4. And thank you for trying to get me over 100 subscribers. Appreciate the shout out for that. Anyone who has not already liked my page, put a thumbs up on this video. Thank you for the 14 people who did that. And if you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it. I'm really close to 100 subscribers, and that would be really exciting. I'll probably do something special, like a giveaway or something, once to commemorate my 100. Okay, another piece of Germanware. This is another piece, unfortunately, has a little bit of damage to it. When I purchased it, I was thinking that maybe just a nice little wood oil or something would clean this up. I was wrong. It's a painted piece, and when I tried to replace the finish on the wood, it started taking some of the pink off. I obviously did in a very small area. So unfortunately, even from a distance, this is showing a little bit of wear, but it does have some age. It is a Württembergisch handmade piece, and it has the pink tag is actually the shop where it was made. So this is just a sweet little piece. Unfortunately, with a little bit of damage. If somebody knows how to restore wood or take care of the wood, that'd be fantastic. But so I'm putting it at a really good price for $3. It's number 52. So the German wooden bowl, number 52, is $3. Some people are aware, if you followed my page in the past, a lot of how I got into reselling has been through theater. And I was supposed to direct a production of Anti-Mame that would have opened last week or a couple weeks ago. And unfortunately, it was canceled because of the current situation. But I had a bunch of costumes that I had picked up. And at this point, I have no place to store them. So I'm throwing one of them up into the sale. It is a very large scarf. It's got silhouettes on it. You can see there are people in umbrellas and then silhouettes of couples talking. Runs all the way around the border of the print. It's in a really good condition. I was desperately trying to tell. I think it might be hand stitched because the stitches are uneven. But again, I don't do fashion, just like I don't do jewelry. But I do know stitchery stuff and quilting and hand quilting. This is uneven. So I'm thinking it might be, but it's also because of the material, that might just be the nature of it. It does still have a label on it that says it's 100% acetate. 100% acetate. But it is made in Japan. So there is some age to it, but it is acetate. So there's not a lot of age to it. It's just a very cool pop of color. It's like a dark navy along with like a lavender and then white. The silhouette scarf is $5 and it's number 23. So the scarf, $5, number 23. This one I'm not sure is a particularly vintagey piece because I'm not sure exactly when it was made, but there's a tiny bit of crazing on the bottom that there might be some age to this. It is an Oreo milkshake mixing mug. It's got the recipe on the front to make an Oreo milkshake. It's got my original price tag on the bottom. I'm selling everything for less here than I sold on the at the gift shop. But I was just trying to open it up a little bit so you can see there's a tiny, tiny bit of crazing on this one. Not really showing up that much, but it's minimal. You can see there's a tiny bit there. So this is $4 and it is number 33. You grab the Christmas stuff. Since I do have Vinny in the house, I specifically pulled aside a stash of, he loves his vintage Christmas. I apologize. I don't have creepy Santas for all of you who love them. And I'm sorry, Vinny, I didn't have any pinup stuff. So you got stuck with vintage Christmas. So what this is a set of 7 vintage ornaments. So this is one that's kind of got a yarn design within the little gold threads that come off of it. It still has the original Japan label on it. And it looks like somebody has handwritten when they got it. It says 67. So I think this ornament is from 1967. Then we're probably getting into a little bit the 80s. We've got the little handmade one where you did the sequins, the little carousel horse. Probably 50s, 60s. This is one of those satin balls with the glitter. You can see the satin is starting to thread a little bit, so it's starting to show its age. A much more contemporary snowman that happens to be written on the bottom. It's 2003. An acrylic dove with gold painted wings. An Enesco carousel that I think did have a date on it, 1990. In its original box, little reindeer carousel, and then a made in Taiwan Santa with the soccer ball. To me, Santa playing soccer, that's creepy in and of itself, but it's not really the creepy Santa that everyone has come to love. So this is all 7 of these ornaments is $5, and as a set, that's number 61. So all 7 of the vintage ornaments, number 61. $5. All right. Again, because I'm fond of decorative objects, I've got a hummingbird plate. So you've got and I think that's a hummingbird, basically attacking some irises. He looks very angry now that I'm looking at him. This is a decorative plate. The only markings on the back is in Japanese writing. I believe that is the symbol for Mount Fuji. So if anyone recognizes that symbol, I do not. So I don't know who the maker is. So I also don't know the era. Based on the colors, I think this would have looked great in Blanche's living room. So like I'm thinking we're in the 90s, but it could be older than that. I have no idea. Probably had a paper label to it. It is the hummingbird plate. It is $5 and it's number 42. All right. Piece that this was totally an accident, and so I'm passing this on for anyone who might be interested. I ended up buying 2 of these. I had one, and then I ended up getting a coupon or something, and then tried to buy a handful of additional reference books because I love my WorthPoint subscription for value, but I didn't like its library, so I decided to build up my own. And somewhere along the line, I ended up buying 2 of these. So I'm getting rid of the other one. It's the 1999 edition. Really not going to be useful for prices at all, but there's some good identification in here. It's in a rough condition. There's some nice pictures though. So again, it can help you with identification. The pictures are in color. It came originally from thrift books. I think it was through Abe Books. So that book is $2 and it's number 69. So the Lefton guidebook, it's $2, number 69. One of my favorite pieces, I decided to try and price it a really good price because it's going to be big to ship. It's this set of West Bend ice bucket, tongs, and tumblers. So the set includes 4 of the tumblers. When I purchased it, all the tumblers were still it still had their little plastic sleeves. I'm not going to say this has not been used, because unfortunately, see if I can get the pictures here, you can see there's a couple nips out of the edge of the plastic. I don't know if you can still count those as flea bites, but you can see where there's this little pieces of the plastic rim that came off. So I think that this was used. They probably just were all stored together. So it's the gold tone handle with the black plastic handle, top of the handle, and then side piece. The lid is black on the inside and has kind of a gold tone finial on the top. 4 of the tumblers and a set of tongs. Now I have no way of knowing if these were the original ice tongs. They're not marked in any way, but I'm assuming because it was all together that it was. This entire set, the 4 glasses, the tongs, the cover, everything is $15 and it's number 57. So this is West Bend set of tumblers, ice bucket, and tongs for $15, number 57. Jumping back into contemporary land, this was a set of dishes that I had available in the gift shop. These actually are probably not all that new. They're from clay art, but they are made in China, microwave and dishwasher safe. So you've got this martini glass, which is kind of the blue color, this dish with the martini, kind of the green color, this one with the yellow, and this one with the purple. I was selling each of these in the shop for $5 each. I'm selling the entire set of 4. So all 4 of those colors are $6 for number 34. So all 4 of the martini-shaped clay arts China dishes are $6, and those are number 34. This piece drifts into, I'm also not sure how contemporary versus how old it is because I don't do a lot with Pfaltzgraff, and so I don't know the Pfaltzgraff numbers. This one has the impressed mark of Pfaltzgraff. If anyone is familiar with it, see if I can try and get it to focus a little bit. Like it's trying to focus on my fingernails. So it's Pfaltzgraff and okay, quite copyright, but I don't think that's a year. It looks like just 3 dots underneath it. So I don't know if that means anything for the year. But anyway, it's the basket weave pattern. It's an off-white. It's not white. This is white. This is cream. So it's like kind of a cream color. It is $3 and it's number 66. All right. This was one of my favorite buys. I'm going to try not to break it. This is one of my favorite buys. And I just never got it photographed because I wasn't sure the best way to do it or if I should combine them or what. One, if anyone follows me and follows my Etsy store, I love little plates. And I don't know if it's because I grew up on Norman Rockwell collector plates or whatever it is, but I love these little plates. And so these are butter pats, I think. I don't think they're the coasters, although they are a little deep. So I'm not 100% sure. But when I bought them because I thought they were butter pats, and they were available as a full set of 8. Which isn't, as anyone who typically sources this kind of stuff, is not something you come across all the time. So this is either 8 coasters or 8 butter pats. But the reason I believe it's a butter pat is because they also had the butter dish. So it is 8 of the platinum starburst is the pattern. So that's the pattern. I loved this pattern. If it didn't have the silver or platinum trim on it, I would have considered using this for my daily dishes, but I need to be able to put my dishes in the microwave because that's how I eat. So these did not become my daily dishes, but it's a covered butter dish. It is in perfect condition. They're all marked Creative Fine China 1014 with the Japan stamp. And you get the covered butter dish and all 8 of the butter pats for $12. And that's number 24. So $12 for this entire set. And whether you want to treat them as coasters or butter pats, it's your call, but you get them all. So I just decided to combine them all. And that is the Platinum Starburst, number 24, $12. Again, I've had things for theater, are going to be making a presence in my Etsy shop and also in this sale. This was a pillbox that we used as a snuff box on the set of Jekyll and Hyde the musical. Again, full disclosure, I make a big deal saying that I don't do anything that's damaged. When I got this, it wasn't damaged, but then we used it in the production, and the little clasp, it is still functional, but it's fussy. Sometimes when you close it, the little piece goes on the outside. So sometimes when you close it, you gotta kind of fuss with it, and then it's not perfectly tight. You can make it tight by pulling out the little tabby thing. I'm so technical. But it's really just a decorative piece. It's got that Wedgwood style. I'm sure it is not Wedgwood. It is not marked in any way. It's just this little chrome tile style finish. This one is, it's got the cameo, the carving of a woman on the front in the white. It's very cute, very small. It is, that's why I have the ruler here. It is 1 3/4 inches long. It is $3. And for $3, that is number 36. So the pillbox, 36 for $3. I don't do a lot in books, which is somewhat ironic considering I actually sell books for a living. So I have a source for them. I just don't think to pick them up. So this is one that I had picked up somewhere along the line, and it is the Williamsburg Art of Cookery by Bullock. It's in pretty decent vintage condition. I don't know if it originally had a sticker or a label on the outside of the book. There's a little bit of discoloration you can see, or if somebody left something and that just happened to leave a mark, because it's not quite perfectly rectangular shape. So I'm not sure if that was from the original design or if that was later. The book itself is a reprint from a much earlier edition, but it's got some cool artwork. This one says it's pretending to be a reprint of a Williamsburg production, and is MCM LXV. So that is 1965. So it's a 1965 edition of a Williamsburg Art of Cookery. It's not like it's not going to be your Martha Stewart. There's no pictures, but there's recipes and an index in the back. It is $2. The Williamsburg Cookbook is $2, and it is number 32. So $2 for the Williamsburg Cookbook, number 32. Once upon a time, I participated in an Instagram sale, and I picked this up as part of it because I knew it was too contemporary to go onto Etsy, but I thought I'd sell it through Instagram. It was very difficult to photograph because it's a paper tablecloth. The design is the same. It's just Mickey and Minnie with this blue on blue, lettering. It says since 1928 that runs along it. The body of the tablecloth is just the cream color. There's nothing that runs down the middle. It is 54 by 87, so it is fairly large. But I'll show you, this is the inside is just the solid cream. So not even the blue stripe repeats on the inside. But it's a fairly large piece, hard to handle, let alone photograph. It is $3, number 41. So again, the paper Mickey and Minnie tablecloth, number 41, $3. All right, so let's see. Well, we're basically at the hour. I wanted to throw a couple other special pieces in before we finish up. So we've done Vinny's. Trying to scroll who I've got here. Gonna throw the list, and if you guys can, if my moderators can tell me if any of these people are here.
Chapter 2.
Chapter two I did.
Fatbird Finds.
Oh, Fatbird Finds. Okay, the postcards. All right, Fatbird Finds. Thank you for joining us today, because what I participated in for that one, and my moderator is going to check to see if anybody else is on here. Thrifter Junker, give me that green piece at the very end. And Thrifting Adventures, give me the blue piece. All right, so we're starting out, and then this is how we'll close ourselves out, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. So this is a set of postcards. Oops, I think I might have just showed you the number. Oops, sorry. It's a very weird mix of postcards. And so one would think, well, why does Fatbird Finds have anything to do with this Dalarna Lexand, Nordic postcard? This stack of postcards includes this Nordic design, and I'm going to say it's Nordic, but it's Stockholm. Another Stockholm. So those two are kind of in a pair. Sienna. I think this is Spain, maybe. So we got Sienna, another one of Sienna. Somebody really likes Sienna. Got several of those. Still, everyone's wondering, why does Fatbird Finds have anything to do with this? The reason this is included, and again, this is not expecting Fatbird Finds to buy this, but the reason this is included is the final postcard is Nashville, and it's printed at Hatch Show Print, one of their favorite places and one of their favorite towns. So it's a very cool block print postcard. And this postcard, along with all of these other miscellaneous postcards, are $3, and it's number 62. So again, all of these postcards together, number 62, is $3. All right, Thrifting Adventures is here. So again, I gave her a shout out at the beginning because she kind of gave me her slot. We got Misty was the one that grabbed the postcards. Congratulations. This piece of pottery, I will admit, I had to stretch a little bit for Thrifting Adventures because she's based in Washington State. And I realized I had this set to go into my Etsy store. So I yanked it out specifically to list it in the store. Put it back here. And this is a piece of Pacific Stoneware. Now, Pacific Stoneware technically is in Oregon, so I'm in the wrong state, but I tried. I came close. So this one is marked B. Welsh, and I'm probably just offended the entire Pacific Northwest. I realize Oregon and Washington are not the same, but they are close. 1972 is the incised stamp on the back. Pacific Stoneware, B. Welsh, USA. It's this vase form. It's glazed on the inside and on the outside with a rough finish on the bottom. It's kind of almost got a tropical floral design on it in this blue on blue with the white. This is a piece of Pacific Stoneware. It is $8, and it's number 63. So the piece of Pacific Stoneware, number 63, is $8. And then the last piece, unless there's anybody that I missed, so if anybody else is on here, if I missed you and my moderator missed you, let us know. But the last piece that I've got isn't really a direct connection to Misty, but I have it, I'm not going to say as a result of Misty, but I did a road trip about a month before everything shut down for the pandemic, and I tried to meet with Misty. Unfortunately, schedules did not allow, and so I unfortunately did not get a chance to meet with her. But because I didn't meet with her, I ended up just basically thrifting in some of probably her favorite honey holes, and I found this. Now, what I find interesting about this, I'm sure Misty is saying to herself right now, my God, I see those every day. I don't. Illinois is right next to Indiana, and I had never seen this. So the first time I saw it, I picked it up. I thought it was fantastic. I thought, I mean, I'm sure it's more 70s based on this color. So it's not like we're in depression glass or anything, but it's just this great egg dish at the top with these great sectioned, relish tray, surround. I did some research on it. It is Indiana glass, so that would be why I kept finding it. But that was my point. So I found this one. I was so excited. Then I went to the next store and I found another one. And then I went to the next store and I found another one. And then another one. I think I ended up literally finding like 4 or 5, and I was only there for 2 days. So these are all over the place in Indiana. I don't know if they were using them as ballast at a ship somewhere, but they are very heavy. If you don't live in Indiana, you may not have seen this everywhere. So this one is a Indiana glass egg plate. It is $5, and it's number 71. All right. So did I miss anybody? If we didn't skip anybody, it doesn't look like anyone popped up. Oh my God, and Misty wants it. What, you want it back in Indiana? You're afraid we're taking away your heritage? But congratulations, Misty. You can have back your Indiana glass. I will ship it back over the border from Illinois back into Indiana. Again, for those of you who joined me initially, I am so sorry about the delays. Lesson learned. This was my first time. But once we got started, I hope you all enjoyed yourself. I hope some of you got some cool stuff. Anything that did not sell, I'll have a little summary underneath the video. So if you're not seeing this video live, some of these items will still be for sale. And I am looking around my room. It's like I didn't even start the sale. I had 80 items flagged to go into the sale. So I knew I wasn't going to cover all of them, but we kind of kept it live as certain things were selling. We were pulling more of that out. And so some things haven't sold, so they're still sitting on the side. They may show up in the next sale. They may end up at Goodwill. I don't know. But at this point, our Goodwills are closed. So on that end, I hope everyone is safe. I hope all of your families and loved ones stayed safe through this pandemic. If you are in an area that is starting to open up, stay safe. Be wise, enjoy the fresh air, something we can't do in Illinois for another month. We are still under a stay-at-home order, although it's starting to be flexified. But we don't want to talk about that. So this was just a way I wanted to try and move some items. It was fun to do. Trust me, I thought you guys were all going to see me cry when I couldn't get the thing to work initially, but it got running. I appreciate all the help from my moderators were giving me. And again, I apologize for the delay. So my name is Patrick with TrustyHucksterMercantile. If you have gotten this far and you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. I was so close to 100. I'm not sure it'll get me over 100 before this ends. But share it, comment on it, whatever the case may be. Thank you for joining me, and I will be doing another one of these in another week or two. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.